Hey guys, it's Dan here, and I've got a riddle for you. What's covered in 6,000 feathers and defined a generation of educational television? One big bird. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Now, who is in The Big Bird? That's a great question, and there's a really great documentary about the guy, Carol Spinney. It's called I Am Big Bird. It goes into great detail about his life with Jim Henson and working on Sesame Street. I highly recommend it. It's a really touching documentary.
Good morning, Lars.
It's flavor charge.
A lot of your favorite Muppet characters came from TV show commercials. Ralph, the dog food commercial. And Big Bird was originally designed for a Stouffer's food commercial. But the commercial never took off, but the idea stuck. The puppet sketch, doodled by Jim in 1969, includes the mechanics which would end up being used for the Big Bird puppet. When Sesame Street was first being put together, the show actually lacked a little bit of a go-between between the important lessons of the show and all the fun, bright, colorful, Muppety segments, and the show kind of needed an avatar for the kids to get in and absorb what was happening. An idea was formed in Jim Henson's brain that he would use his giant bird design as some sort of bumbling idiot who would wander around the show, bumping into doors, obviously getting knowledge wrong, which would then encourage the kids to correct him through the television.
I may be the dumbest, and the slowest, and the clumsiest bird there ever was, but I'm also the luckiest.
It didn't work. There's just something not right about the original Big Bird. He's just weird. I love this quote from Carol Spinney when he first saw the puppet. I thought it was the ugliest thing I ever saw. And you know what? He's not wrong. Look at this thing. Look at its droopy eyes. Look at its greasy feathers. Look at its pitiful head. This thing looks like the pigeon that's wandering around desperate downtown looking for a bagel to chew on. This is not a happy bird. This is a troubled bird. This early puppet was constructed in multiple segments. The head, neck, and torso were all assembled and buckled onto Spinney in sections rather than an entire unit like it is today. There's this really great photo of early Carol Spinney with the early design of the puppet. He's wearing the torso and the head, but not the neck. It gives a really good look at how the puppet works. Fun fact, his original set of legs apparently caught fire. When Carol was filming an Oscar segment, his legs were way too close to a light, to some lighting, and apparently Big Bird was toasted early on. That's hilarious to me. It's so crazy that he was so kind and sweet as Big Bird, and he was so miserable and angry as Oscar the Grouch. What a duality of characters, man. Throughout the first season, his design is modified quite regularly. More feathers are added, and more specifically, they fix his eyes. He has such sad, droopy eyes when he's first introduced, but by the end of the first season, his eyelids are turned more upwards, giving him a nice, happy look. Big Bird essentially reverse molts. Feathers just keep being added to him. I actually have some of my friends who wrangle Big Bird. Look, this is a real Big Bird feather right here. So I know that the feathers were flying off of this thing constantly, so them adding more and more feathers throughout the first season ended up giving him a nice full head that made him look less dopey. With all the added feathers to his new round-headed design, his height came in at 8'2". That's a tall bird. Thanks to Blueland for sponsoring this episode. Public broadcasting taught me one important lesson early on. Wash your hands, and keep washing your hands. Don't stop washing your hands. So what is Blueland? Blueland is an amazing company with a mission to eliminate single-use plastics in a super fashionable way. Show your diehard Disney love while also being planet-friendly. It wasn't until I started using this that I realized just how many single-use cleaning plastic bottles I was recycling or throwing away. So everyone out there needs to stop buying all these decorative hand soap bottles and start investing in some beautiful glass reusable hand soaps from Blueland. I got the limited edition Mickey and Friends hand soap kit. It comes with 4 bottles. They're just gorgeous glass bottles, each with a unique character on it, and some tablets to drop in. Unlike your traditional liquid cleaners that are sold in single-use plastics, with Blueland, all you need is some tablets. The lavender eucalyptus scent, I am obsessed with this scent. I can't stop washing my hands. I've already gone through half of a jar just by myself of this hand soap. Let me show you how it works. First, fill up your forever bottle with warm to hot water. Then you just have to drop in one of your tablets into the water bottle. And hey, listen, don't put your nozzle on until it's done fizzing. Then you just use it in minutes. You don't have to stir it or shake it. And here's what I love about these tablets. They're full of clean ingredients. Blue Land uses no single-use plastic in any component, from bottles, tablets, wrappers, shipping. Their products are vegan and cruelty-free, and they're also made with clean ingredients without ammonia, VOC, soy, nut, chlorine, bleach, and parabens. All you have to do is click my link below to get 15% off your first kit. Blue Land is sharing this special offer just for my viewers. So click the link below. I don't think birds wash their hands, though. I don't even think that they have posable fingers. Chickens don't have fingers. What are we eating? By the second season, it was obvious that Big Bird was the breakout star of Sesame Street. No more just little segments here and there throughout the show. No, Big Bird was here and he was having it. He went to the Emmys in 1970. Look how handsome he looks in a bow tie. Big Bird, come on. He was on the Ed Sullivan Show. You remember the Ed Sullivan Show? You don't just get invited to the Ed Sullivan Show if you're a nobody, especially if you're a poultry. The 1970s was truly a season for growth for Big Bird. It was an experimental time to really figure out what this character was. And over the course of season 2 to season 9, boy, he had a lot of changes happen. Here's also where we began to ditch the whole bumbling idiot aspect of Big Bird and more go towards a childlike innocence, where he kind of adopts the persona of a kid instead of a fool.
At the depth gentleman not pursue Wixes. I wish I knew exactly what I mean.
And by this point, they had mastered the operation of the puppet. Essentially, Carol's arm went up the neck where his hand would operate the beak, and his pinky, with the assistance of a little lever, moved the eyelids. And the puppet's head weighed 5 pounds. His left arm operated the left wing, but there was a wire that ran up from the left arm down the head to the right arm, which acted as a counterbalance. Basically, when one side goes up, the other side goes down. The puppeteer wears a monitor with a live feed camera strapped to his chest, which Carol and the others have dubbed the electronic bra. So that's Victoria's secret. She's into electronics. He literally wallpapered the inside of his suit, the puppet, with his entire script, so he could read the script, look at the monitor, and operate the puppet all at the same time. This guy was a maniac. I can't even believe how powerful he was. Could you even imagine like the arm muscles of Carol's? Just try to hold your hand above your head right now, from now to the end of the video, and see if you can do it. I bet you can't, because it's grueling. What this man did for 50 years is nuts. He would go out in public. He would make public appearances as Big Bird and just lock it in. He said to lock his arm up there. It is wild what he could do. By the end of season 9, we had the Big Bird. This is when we really landed on the design. He had a nice, crisp, white highlight just above the eyes, with a nice big, round, full head, with a few straggly plumage on the top that hung around and danced in the air. It was a really nice design. His face is nice and tight around the beak, and his neck is so slim. They figured it out. They know how to lay the feathers. They know how to construct the ribbing. It is a fantastic puppet build. This is it. This is him. He is he. Who is he? He hatched. This is the one.
Oh, hi.
I know you guys have been waiting for. You've been waiting for me to talk about the live shows. Well, now's the time. 1980 was the first Sesame Street Live. And here's what's wild about the Sesame Street Live Big Bird design. It's the same as the TV show, because it could be. All the other characters had to be translated into gigantic, walk around mascots. You know how they do that. You've seen walk around Elmos. They're all over New York. But Big Bird didn't need to be transformed. We could keep his original design because he was over 8 feet tall. He towered over the mascots. 1985, Follow That Bird. Follow That Bird is fantastic, period. There's just nothing. What else is there to say about perfection? It's got so many great moments. It's got so many great puppets, it's got so many great characters and cameos, but also it's got a great Big Bird design. The Follow That Bird Big Bird is a movie quality Big Bird. I don't know how else to describe it. They just really perfected and primmed and preened the Big Bird design. It's so beautiful. I don't know, do you think they shot in a different like lens, Kenny? Is like a movie lens is different than TV lenses? All lenses are different? That's something I just learned. It's season 20 of Sesame Street. We're in the early 90s, and you know what that means. It's time for a little bit of a nip and a tuck, Hanny. We need to slim Big Bird down. Boy, his neck gets so thin in the early 90s. I don't know how they do it. Was Big Bird on Slim Fast? Is that what was going on? Is that what I was not paying attention to? Big Bird was Slim Fasting this whole time? Oh, man. Early 90s Big Bird's when I checked in, because I was born late 80s. So, like, this is my Big Bird. This one here. And, looking at it, just like I'm flooded with just memories, right? Because it's just, that's the Big Bird. That's it. This is the one. This is the iconic design. This is the consistent Big Bird look from here on out, and it is gorgeous. The feathers are layered in a way that are almost like dragon scales. Like they're not fluffy, big bird feathers anymore. They're layered precisely to make him look really thin and tight. And it makes the head of the puppet really pop. Because remember, the hand of the puppeteer is just inside of the beak. So all that extra stuff that's on top with feathers, it's all big, it's all light, and it makes the character shine. Around 2004, we tweaked Big Bird's face just a little bit, and we ditched a lot of the white highlights around his eyes. I'm not exactly sure what it's for, but I can only hypothesize that because there's an alternate head for green screening, white-faced Big Bird just didn't look good in all those CGI environments. I guess it must have been the transition of puppeteers and just, Carol getting up there in age because he performed till he was like 81. But Big Bird's posture starts to shrink a little bit. He's still 8 feet tall, don't get me wrong. But like if you'll notice, his neck is a little bit more scrunched up. Like he's a little hunched over now. As we all know, in 2018, Carol Spinney retired and we got Matt Vogel in as Big Bird. And I'll tell you what, Matt Vogel is a huge fixture over at the Children's Workshop. All the puppetry stuff they're doing over there. He's an iconic guy, and he's in control of now Kermit the Frog and Big Bird. And Big Bird is more childlike than ever, is such a fun character with Matt in control. I absolutely love it.
Oh, hi! Today on Sesame Street, we're finding out about the alphabet. And I was just
It's a transition going from one specific voice to a new kind of specific voice, but the character and all of its wonder and magic is still maintained. We have not lost Big Bird. He just had a little bit of a voice change, which is inevitable.
Got it.
The energy and the love of Carol and Matt, they're all worked in together. Matt was helping Carol for years, being Big Bird on set while Carol sat offset with a microphone and did the lines. There's lots of partnership there, and I really trust Matt Vogel with Big Bird. It is such a fun character. I didn't harp too heavily on like Sesame Place Big Birds or Sesame Street Live Big Birds because they transitioned as the costume transitioned. They're all being made and supervised by the same kind of team of people. So there's lots of consistency through the years with Big Bird specifically because he didn't have to change. He didn't need to modify to fit into any of the spaces. The puppet design just works. Here's a super fun fact that I know that maybe I'm gonna ask for permission. No, I can say it. I'll say it. I'm gonna say it. I'm friends with a lot of the guys, specifically Noel McNeil, who does Big Bird during the Macy's Day Parade, and they have a special stick. It's like a reverse broomstick that they fish up inside the puppet when the puppeteer sets down right at the top of the parade, so that he doesn't have to use any of his arm muscles. Listen, we've got to talk about the multiverse of Big Birds.
Where did she go?
Maybe it's because we just figured out how to make a Big Bird well, and we're just like, well, let's just make a lot of them. I don't know. The blue bird of happiness and Follow That Bird. This is just a blue Big Bird. This is just a blue Big Bird. What do you want from me? It's so weird, It's like Mountain Dew has been Mountain Dew forever, and now there's red Mountain Dew? What's that about? That's what this is. Baby Bird, you know what? I love it. Baby Big Bird? Why hasn't Baby Big Bird cameoed on Muppet Babies? It just seems like a home run. And you know what? The nanny of Muppet Babies, old school Muppet Babies, has big birdie legs, you know? She's got like those thick striped legs. I'm just saying. Big Bird has cousins. They do other Sesame Streets all over the world. Alberto Montoya. First of all, what a name. Second of all, he's a parrot. What? Fourth of all, he's 4. I think I skipped third. Big Bird went to China in 1983. And, you know, we all know that, right? And what we didn't know is that they secretly stole his DNA and cloned him. And he has an identical twin in China. They're telling us it's his cousin. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Da Niao means big bird. There can't be 2 Big Birds. If Big Bird was Fanta, I don't know where all these soda analogies keep coming from, but if Big Bird was a Fanta, this would just be the orange flavor. This was Fruit Punch Big Bird in Turkey. I actually am here for this. Pino from the Netherlands. Look at him. Oh my God. I love him so much. I just want to squish him. He looks real dumb though, doesn't he? He does not look like an intelligent creature. Portugal just stole this from Turkey, I think. This is just the same one. This is Garibaldo from Vila Sésamo, Brazil. I'm so sorry to the children of Brazil. Like, well, I guess they're not children anymore. This was in the 70s. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. I love Big Bird. Him and I go way back. Kenny, show him the baby pic of me. Look, see? Look, that's me and Big Bird. I'm dressed as Noah. No reason why. It was a whole animal theme. And I guess the only stuffed animals we had were Big Bird. I don't have an explanation for you. I'll ask my mother. And thanks to Blue Land for sponsoring this episode about one big bird. As always, thanks for watching, guys. You're all amazing. Find me over on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Patreon, and Twitch. And don't forget to watch our new vlog, Please Stop Vlogging, with Kenny and I. Please Stop Vlogging is the name of the blog, but also a request. Please stop. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, you rock. Kenny thought I was a Jedi. Darth Big Birdus.